Well, look at this, guys. This is a nimble nomad passing by. Look at that. Maybe he wants to come over and talk. Let's find out. So, for those that don't know, this is the more common nimble that they made, the nomad. Okay, well, they're coming from the place that I'm going, Sanford. And this is one of the newer nomads. I can tell. I'll point out a couple things here in a minute as to why I can tell. But yeah, what a beauty. I've had and sold 2 of these. I just bought them to sell them, you know, to make some money. Okay, guys, we're talking for a minute from the. Hopefully they don't mind. I don't think they do. Friendly. They're from Pennsylvania. Yeah. Okay, great. I have a YouTube channel, and if you can remember this, I have a YouTube channel that's got about 4,500 subscribers, and people, you know, are watching this series, and if you can remember this, it's Backwaters and Backroads. Oh, okay. Yeah, and just type in Beagle and Vagabond, you'll find it.
Yep. Hey, can I ask a personal question?
Of course.
He asked $10,000 when I went down to look at that. And
Yeah.
I passed on it because I didn't think it was worth it. Can
Yeah.
I ask how much you paid?
Yeah, I got real bucks.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
and I felt like, I mean, it's worth it, you know. Like I couldn't get one any cheaper.
You must have done an awful lot of work on it.
Yeah, I mean they're just.
Like an autopilot that wasn't hooked up.
Oh yeah, no, it's kind of a. Yeah, I mean it's. I'm just thankful it's not so nice that I don't have to worry about scratching it up. All right, guys. Well, we just had a little chat and they love their boat. They've got a nice EFI Yamaha 60 horse on the back, and they say that's a really good match, and that it burns about a gallon an hour, which is probably what I'm burning too. So you guys have a good one. Yeah. Look at that. I mean, little nomads are so awesome. So economical. Remember what I said, guys, about all these crab pot buoys or whatever these are? They're everywhere out here. You've got to be really careful. I'm just floating past one right now, so don't get them stuck in your prop. Okay, guys, so they call this Rice Creek, which is just north of Quackatuk, I think is how you pronounce it. I'll put it up on the screen here so you know what town I'm talking about. But this is a big river, way bigger than I was thinking. Okay, I don't know what this is. Is that a train? I don't think I can get under that. I can see the road up there, 17 above. Well, the sign there says that I can honk my horn and it'll open, but I don't think I want to get in there. I don't see a good reason to. I'll just stay outside of it here. I'll go find a place to anchor. Can I help you with something? I can't tell if this boat is abandoned or not. I think it is. I mean, it's still got lines coming out, but I think it might have dragged its anchor into that spot. A couple of anchors. I mean, that's like a tourist boat or something. The door's open. I'm tempted to go. I'm tempted to explore that. I might come back here because I'm just going right around the corner right now. Okay, so you can see here that the St. John's kind of pinches down and becomes more of a narrow type of river right where I'm at. And I hear from folks who have told me this is a great trip that it just starts to get prettier and prettier from here. So let's go find out. It is a rainy morning in Platuk. I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Platuk, Florida, on the St. Johns River. And I met a nice fella who, well, you might have already seen. I might have already published it by the time you're watching this. They're making an amazing welded aluminum, all aluminum shanty boat. And he told me about this guy, which I was hoping to see show up while I'm parked in this cove, but he hasn't. I guess he's a real recluse. But he made this little, obviously this little handmade kind of shanty boat out of just stuff he was, he found. And he apparently lives on it. He's got a bicycle and this little shanty boat. And, yeah, I don't know. Awesome. I love that kind of stuff. I would love to make something like that, just out of like stuff I've got laying around, just to do it, just to see how it would turn out. I might still do it. But shanty boats come in all shapes and forms. It is dumping buckets of rain today. Kind of a change of pace. I'm not worried too much about it. I'm glad it's not doing it every day, but something different. Okay guys, well, it stopped raining here for a minute. Maybe it'll stop for good. And I came across this bridge, which I think I might, I don't know, can I slip under that? That sign, I can't see it from where I'm standing here, but I think that sign probably says I can call somebody and they can open it up for me. But it's just so pretty out here. I'm going to try to, like, it's always hard to capture on camera. I mean, nature is always hard to convey on camera about how beautiful it is. I mean, it just becomes this personal experience that you really, a person only get, get it when they're doing it, But I think a little bit of it can be conveyed. It is so beautiful out here. South of Platuk, and I'll never pronounce that correctly, it narrows down and it just becomes this natural waterway, and the scenery totally changes. And there's hardly anyone out here yet. I think there is some cities, coming up eventually, small ones, but yeah, beautiful. This is absolutely gorgeous, and I hope that you can see that from this video. So, well, let's pull up here and see what this sign says, because I know I can't slip under that. It's too low. I think it's too low. Okay, it says Buffalo Bluff Bridge, and there's a phone number to call. I'm going to call that right now and see if they can open it up for me. Okay, so I called the number, and the guy's like, yeah, no problem, I'll open it up for you. So neat. What do you think of that, little beagle? Alright, man, look at that. I guess that was probably the way the bridge was too a couple nights ago on that side river. When it said, call this number and we'll open it for you, which I never did. I just stayed on the other side of it. But look at that. That is so neat. For little old me, when I was going through the locks on the Shanty Beagle adventure, I felt the same way. It's like, you're doing all this work for little old me. Thank you so much. So awesome. Look at that. weighted bridge. And they just probably communicate with the trains, obviously. I mean, I can imagine a train, you know what I'm saying. It would have to do that jump and somehow land on the tracks. I've been looking for a special spot to stop and make some food, and I might cast out a worm. I got some worms yesterday, and who knows, maybe there's some fish in here. I've been seeing gar jump out of the water for the past couple days, which are really interesting fish, kind of prehistoric. These long snouts look like predators. Anyways, I'm gonna go set the anchor real quick. People keep telling me there's a bunch of alligators back here, and I believe them. I'm sure there is, but I have not seen one. I might have seen a couple kind of, breaking the water and diving into the water, though it could be something else too. But what I've heard is at night, if you take a spotlight and you start shining in the right spots, you'll see their eyes glowing. And the wider away their eyes are, the bigger the alligator. I met this guy yesterday, came over on his dinghy when I was parked off of Pulatuk, and he said that they've actually come up onto boats before trying to get dogs. So he's like, be really careful with Wavey. So, I'm sure that's an extreme case, but nonetheless, I am kind of watching her, and what a terrible way to lose Wavey, right? Oh hi, I'm Wavy Gravy, the star of the channel. If you're new here, think about subscribing. And also, my dream is to move to Greenland and become a sled dog. So, links in the description. Thanks! And then seemingly out of nowhere, you just come around a corner and you see some kind of operation going on. I mean, I wonder what that is. I wish I had the time to go find out. Alright guys, well, we are crossing Lake George. It's kind of late in the day, and I was thinking about just dropping anchor and leaving in the morning, but from what I hear, Lake George can get pretty rough. And right now, the wind is at my back. Just a gentle wind, but nonetheless is kind of pushing me in the direction I want to go, as opposed to what often happens, which is I'm kind of beating against the wind, what I was doing the past couple days. And I think, based on just how the speed I usually go, right now I'm going a little under 5 miles an hour because I dropped the RPMs down a little bit to save some more fuel, or just kind of experiment with, I don't know, I'll talk about that later. But, so anyways, sorry to be lingering on that pretty boring image there. But this is Lake George, and I'm just coming in from the north here, where it kind of goes from, with river width into, a lake, and it's big. It's a big lake.
3 hours later.
Man, I could not have cut this any closer. It kind of reminds me of crossing Mobile Bay with the Shanty Beagle a few years ago. There's a video on my channel here, if you can find it. It's The episode it's in the Shanty Boat Beagle Adventure, and the episode is towards the end of the series, and it's called and then the weather started getting rough. It's one of the more popular ones because the wind really picked up, and it was quite the ride across, you know. But I do remember when I finally got to the other end of Mobile Bay, and I pulled into the intercoastal again, you know, which was basically protected water. It was it just got dark. There was just enough light for me to get around the corner and drop the anchor. It was almost like that whole day was just kind of meant to be, you know. It was just it kind of feels that way. But so let me see if I can hone in here. That's what I'm aiming for, and it doesn't look that far away, but when you're only doing 5 miles an hour, things come at you slow. Man, this is a tricky inlet. I mean, especially in the dark. But I got back, it was back up to 3 feet. If this was just a normal drawing boat, like a trawler or a sailboat or something, you know, you really got to know how. I noticed that there was trawlers kind of staged. There's one behind me here, parked still, you know, anchored still in the lake. They probably got here late, and they wanted to wait for daylight to come in and navigate it. And there was one at the top end of the lake too, kind of probably waiting for the right time too. So that's my guess. These entrances, you know, both of these entrances, the upper entrance was actually pretty easy, but this bottom one, I mean, I'm in good water now. It's back down to 25 feet, so go find a place to park. I wonder if that person turned their lights on for me. Must be good fishing in here. All these boats, all these fishing boats, kind of bunched up. I always love seeing women fishing, especially by themselves. So guys, I know this is going to disappoint and frustrate some folks that watch this series, but I am not going to be doing any fishing. And the reason why, I mean, the fishing is amazing on the St. Johns River, I can tell. I'm passing people fishing, they're pulling fish in, I see fish jumping, I've seen bass. I mean, this is a fishing paradise back in here. But there's 2 reasons. I don't have enough time on this trip. Some stuff has developed back home, back north, that I have to, get home and attend to, and, putting me a little bit more of a schedule than I was expecting or hoping. So I'm kind of just, rolling through, and I guess I've just tried to surrender to the attitude that, like, I'm casing the place out. I'm finding places that I want to return to, and I would love to come back to the St. Johns River and spend a whole month down here. I would bring the barge, just to have plenty of room and comfort and all the conveniences of a floating cabin, basically, and then just pull into all these nooks and crannies and explore them and do some fishing, because it's fishing heaven. So yeah, guys, sometimes it's just what you get, but now I know. Now we can come back, and now you know. So you ever want to have a long fish, I don't know, it doesn't have to be a month. If you just come down here and trailer your boat and launch in somewhere on the lower St. Johns here and just spend a week, fishing, you'd probably love it. So, but we'll do plenty of fishing this spring and summer up in Superior Land, trust me. So, okay guys, catch you later. Here's a neat boat. What was that? What was that? Someone honking the horn? Oh my goodness. Is someone honking a horn? You want to go to shore? We're going to town. Here's a nice looking houseboat on a tour. It's a real nice one. Hey guys, check out this mural here for a second. I was walking by and I was like, hey, that's almost me. Looks more like a Rossborough, but same green color and everything. Pretty nice little mural. Well, this sure reminds me of the Shanty Beagle, which I should have never sold, especially for the price that I sold it for. Nice little boat. Alright guys, well we're coming up on a bridge. I don't know what bridge it is, but it's, I'd say about halfway between Astor and, oh, the next lake down. I'd have to look. It looks like I can get underneath it. They don't have to raise it. Alright guys, well, we are coming into Lake Monroe and the town of Sanford, which is as far as I'm going to go on this trip, though a person can go a lot farther. There's other lakes farther down the St. Johns River here. I actually can't tell if I can get under that or not. It's that close. Guess I'll sound the horn. It's the first time I've turned my radio on this whole trip. And I wasn't even sure if it worked, to tell you the truth, but yep, guy answered and he's going to open the bridge here as soon as he can. I think I'm just like a foot too high. I always feel bad when they have to do this kind of stuff just for little old me, but I guess that's just the way it works. Wavey, you getting all this? Well, it kind of feels like we're coming back into reality. This is the most, this is the biggest town, I guess since Jacksonville, you know, passing through Jacksonville, but yeah, between Jacksonville and down to here, it's really just small towns and then just backwaters, backcountry with hardly anybody in there, so yeah, welcome back to reality.